This video will show you how to replace your rear engine mount on this Toyota Corolla. This will be located along the rear of your engine compartment. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. The first thing we have to do is safely raise and support the front of the vehicle so the front wheel's off the ground. After you've done that, we're going to remove all 5 of our 21mm lug nuts and then the wheel. Now that we have the wheel out of the way, let's have a look all the way deep in this area. We're following the power steering rack inboard towards the center of the vehicle, and this is where we can see our rearward engine mount. You can also see a 17mm mounting bolt. Prior to removing that bolt, we need to apply support underneath our transmission. We're going to do this directly along this area. We don't need to go up against our transmission pan. For this, I'm going to use a small block of wood, and of course we'll use a jack. We can adjust the height as necessary. Light pressure. Now we can make our way to that mounting bolt. I'm using a 17mm on an extension. We're coming through the driver's side wheel well. With support under the transmission, we can break free our 17mm center through bolt. I'm coming through the driver's side wheel well. We'll just break this free. You want to be careful not to get your tools stuck in this area. It can potentially hit up against the power steering rack. We don't want to cause any damage to that power steering rack. Now we have the through bolt broken free, but we can't remove it. The power steering rack is going to be in the way. We're going to make our way underneath the front subframe. We're going to remove our hardware, holding the mount down to the subframe, and then we're going to adjust the engine and transmission as necessary so we can remove the through bolt. Now underneath the subframe, we're going to start removing our 4 pieces of 14mm hardware. You can see 2 out in the open, a 14mm bolt and a 14mm nut. There's 2 more mounting nuts. One in this port here, one in that port. Each of those are 14mm as well. Now we can start raising the transmission as needed so we can gain access to that mounting bolt. We want the mounting bolt to be up high enough over the power steering rack, close to where this boot is, so we can slide the bolt out and away. Okay, it stops right there. We're not going to put too much pressure. Now we can fully remove that through bolt. Now we're coming through the driver's side wheel well with our 17mm. I'm going onto that through bolt. Let's continue turning this counterclockwise. You want to be extremely careful as you start removing this, not to hit up against the power steering rack. We don't want to cause any damage. Now that we have the bolt loose, we can go ahead and pull this out of place. Up along the top of this mount, you're going to find that you have a rubber vibration dampener. Use a 10mm to remove the mounting bolt holding this in place. We'll set that aside. Now I've got that pressed on there. Let's see if we can get this to break free. Obviously there's very minimal room. Once you get it to break free with a longer ratchet, you can switch to something shorter if necessary. Okay. We can set that aside. Now that we have that engine and transmission raised, we should be able to take hold of this mount. We're going to lift it up, pivot it, and pull it out and away. I want to bring it towards the passenger side, and I'm going to bring it out along the front of the subframe. Get some movement here. There it is, friend. Let's prepare to install our brand new rear engine mount. Let's start by removing the vibration dampener. That's going to give us a little bit more room for installation. For this vibration dampener, I'm using a 12mm for my mounting bolt. As we bring our rearward engine mount into place, we want to make sure that we have the area with the large single stud facing towards the front. Getting close here. Now that we have our mount in place, close to our engine bracket, let's have a quick look at our original engine mount. You can see on the passenger side of this, we have a rubber cap. We're going to install that onto our new mount. That's going to slide in between this mount and the engine bracket. For this, if you were looking at it, you can see that there's a small slot for an alignment tab. If you were feeling on the actual bushing of the engine mount, you're going to find a tab that protrudes out to one side. Just go ahead and line this up, press it in, and we'll get this into place. Okay. Now, while I'm holding that in place, I'm attempting to align each one of my studs with their corresponding ports and bring this down in between the engine bracket. Try for the front stud first. Just try to get it partially aligned. We're not pressing down. We need to align all three of these studs. That's the front. Should be able to maneuver this around a little bit. Now it's time for our three 14mm mounting nuts. One inside of each of these two circular ports, and one on our stud here. We are not tightening any of this hardware yet. I'm just going to go ahead and put that right onto my socket. It's impossible to see this stud. Just line it up, start it on. Those are started in. Let's continue on with our mounting bolt. That comes up through this circular port. Now that we have our hardware started in, we're leaving it loose. Let's continue up along the top of this mount for our vibration dampener. For the vibration dampener, I'm going to align it, and I'll start in my 12mm headed bolt and snug it up. Find that port. $12mm socket. And now we'll just make sure it's tight. Okay, right there is bottomed out. Let's just make sure that is secure so it will not loosen up on us while we're driving down the road. Now that we have the vibration dampener in place, we can continue on adjusting our transmission height as necessary so we can align our through bolt. You want to be careful around that power steering rack so we don't cause any damage. Make our adjustments here. Now I have my through bolt. Once you have the through bolt going through the mount and the bracket, you should be able to lift up, making it so we can have clearance for that mounting bolt to slide past our power steering rack. Let's tap that in. With that making its way through, I'm just going to attempt to start that in on the opposite side there. We've got that started in. Let's go ahead and snug it up, and I'm going to torque this to 48 foot-pounds. Now we can fully lower the engine and transmission into the rested position and tighten the rest of our hardware underneath the subframe. Go ahead and remove that support. We're going to torque each of these 4 pieces of hardware to 38 foot-pounds. Let's get our wheel in place. Now at this point, we're going to start on all 5 of our 21mm lug nuts. We'll bottom them out, get the wheel safely on the ground, and we can torque these to 76 foot-pounds. With the wheel back on the ground, let's torque each one of our 21mm lug nuts to 76 foot-pounds. Torqued. Okay friend, we finished the installation of our rear engine mount. The next thing we want to do is take the vehicle for a road test and listen for any odd noises. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.